If my voice is audible, tell me yes or why or yes. Anything you can tell. Please confirm me, everybody. Everyone, please confirm. Can you hear me clearly? Yes. So most of the people can hear me. Okay. So thank you all. So before starting the session, we will be having our tea break at 11 a.m. Okay, and we will be 11 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. will be our tea break, and lunch break will be at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 1:45 p.m. And we will be closing the webinar. The final session of the webinar will be between within 4 p.m. we will complete our webinar. So tea break will be between 11 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. Lunch break will be at 1 p.m. to 1:45 p.m. and we will complete the webinar by 4 p.m. So note down the timings. And another announcement, after webinar, I will send the course material, the PDF material, the images, some important books. Okay, everything I will send after webinar. I will be sending around 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So these are some important announcements I will give in the beginning. And our WhatsApp group will be open for discussion from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Clear? So these are the things which we will do after webinar. Materials will be shared after the webinar. So whatever doubts you have, you can note down. When I give you the time, you can ask. So first, we are going to see about the basic classification of derivatives trading. So let me know how many of you don't know anything about futures and options. If you don't know anything about futures and options, kindly tell me yes. If you know about futures and options, no problem. If you don't know anything about futures and options, tell me yes or why or yes. Only few people, I guess. If you don't know about futures and options, tell me yes. Okay. So there are few people who don't know about futures and options. See, this futures and options, I will teach you only a very basic thing. I will be teaching you in futures and options. Okay. And after that, we will be covering the core concepts of price action trading. I will be telling you how to use moving averages for intraday, how to use CPR for intraday, and how to use both moving averages and CPR for intraday. Few candlestick psychologies I will be covering. Okay, these are our core concepts. Okay, now I will tell you the basics of futures and options. Very basics. Okay, so first we will see the classification of derivatives trading. See, first, we have to understand how derivatives trading was introduced. First, we have to understand how derivatives trading is introduced. For example, from apple, from apple we are getting apple juice, right? From apple only we are getting apple juice. Similarly, from stocks we are getting futures and options. Only from stocks we are getting futures and options. Only from index we are getting futures and options. For example, from apple we are getting apple juice. Similarly, from TCS stock, from TCS we are getting TCS futures and TCS options. Okay. Similarly, from Nifty, we are getting Nifty futures and Nifty options. So, futures and options are introduced from stocks or index only. Many people they think futures and options are totally a different subject. See, futures and options are not totally different. They are derived from stocks only. Okay, they are derived from stocks, they are derived from index, they are derived from commodities only. Okay, now the futures we are going to see. This futures is very similar to equity cash. This futures is very similar to equity cash, and this options is somewhat different. Okay, this options is somewhat different. There are many terminologies in options. There is two types, call option and put option, that we will see one by one. Okay, so the classification of derivatives trading is very simple. From the underlying asset, stock or index or commodity, we are getting futures and options. We are deriving futures and options. Okay, now why derivatives trading? Why do we need derivatives trading? Why futures and options is necessary? Okay, we in equity itself you can buy and sell, you can sell and buy, everything you can do in equity itself. Why do you need futures and options? See, this futures and options is introduced only for hedging purposes. Okay, this futures and options is introduced only for hedging purposes. Okay, now what is hedging? This hedging is used by FIIs and DIIs. This hedging is used by FIIs and DIIs. Who are FIIs and DIIs? FIIs means they are foreign institutional investors. Okay, they are foreign investors. They are foreign people who are investing in Indian companies. Who are DIIs? DIIs are domestic institutional investors. Domestic institutional investors. These are Indian people. Okay, these are Indian people like mutual funds. Okay, Indian mutual funds, Indian banking companies. Okay, Indian insurance companies. Okay, and other Indian ultra high net worth individuals and high net worth individuals. People who are trading with 1,000 crores like that. Okay, people who are trading with 1,000 crores, 500 crores like that, they are called as ultra high net worth individual and high net worth individual. So DIIs are Indian people, Indian mutual funds, Indian banks, insurance companies, etc. FIIs means foreign people. Okay, so this hedging concept is introduced only for these two people. This hedging concept is introduced only for these two people. Okay. Now, what is hedging? I told this futures and options. Now we are seeing why futures and options are introduced. Why futures and options are introduced? Futures and options are introduced for hedging purposes. Okay. For example, you are having 1,000 shares in Reliance Industries. You are having 1,000 shares in Reliance Industries. One share is 1,000 rupees. So you have invested 10 lakh rupees in Reliance Industries. This is an example. So we are seeing what is hedging. Okay, you are having 1,000 shares in Reliance Industries. One share of Reliance is 1,000 rupees. So your total investment is 10 lakh rupees. Now there is now